Hello and welcome to Meet Your Double Feature. My name is Thomas, joined as always by my brother Frank. Frank, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, he's all right. Okay.
Just kidding. I'm so excited.
He's excited. All right. Had been going there for a second. Frank's excited. I'm also excited. We are happy to bring you, after kind of backed by popular demand, the second episode of Ranking Every Movie Ever Made. The show where Frank and I pull movies out of a hat and rank them on one exhaustive list of every movie ever made from best to worst. It is an achievable goal. We're gonna do it.
The people need us to do it. It's been long enough. People need a list of everything ranked.
People need that list. They've been dying for it.
We're gonna release that list.
Oh, God. People, they've tried to release parts of the list. Not all of it. They claim that's all of it, but there's more.
There is more, and we're going to give it to you.
I didn't understand that was a joke right away. I was just like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
We got to stop.
So, Frank, the way that ranking every movie ever made is going to work, much like last time, I'm going to have you be my random number generator guy. I have a list on my end of basically any movie that you or I has seen in the past 10, 15 years or so, all listed alphabetically. So you're going to give me a random number, I'll find which movie that is on my list, and then we will try to rank it somewhere on our pre-existing list, which as of now has 10 movies on it from our first episode. You might be alarmed to see that our current best movie of all time is Star Wars Attack of the Clones. Frank, do you have any thoughts on that? Is that a defensible position?
I don't. No one should be surprised by that. I think that's a very valid.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how long it stays there. I imagine, probably until we hit Revenge of the Sith, it'll stay up there for a long time. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and then the fight of the century will be like, where's Phantom Menace go?
Where's it go? Yeah.
Yeah. So Frank, I guess with that, why don't we put an hour on the clock? You can give me the first number, and we'll get the show started. So let's, we tried to come up with this last time. Let's spin that list of movies.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. We're really going to lock that in.
Yep. It's going to be on a t-shirt by the end of the week.
Cool. I'd wear that. So our first number is movie number 401.
Movie number 401. Let me find it.
Take your time. It's just an audio-only medium.
Mm-hmm. Okay, movie number 401 on my alphabetized list, Dune.
Oh, the original Dune or the new one?
Now, again, Frank's mad about this because he has since gone back and fixed it. But at the time I made the list, I had your list of movies and some of them didn't have years on them. So this just says Dune. Have you seen the 80s one?
No, I don't think so. This has to be the new one. Or it's the book. Who knows?
This most likely is Dune 2021, the first in the ongoing remake trilogy from Denis Villeneuve, I believe is how you say that.
I don't believe it is, but close enough.
I don't know, I'll just paste over it with a real pronunciation. Okay, so we're talking Dune 2021. I'm taken aback that this is like a popular movie. People will actually know what this is.
Yeah, people like Dune.
People like Dune, but did you like Dune?
Man, I remember I didn't see that movie in theaters. I watched it, I think the same year it came out, but I was not as excited for it, I guess, as a lot of other people. I didn't even really understand the hype around it. I'd heard of Dune. I know it's in very early sci-fi property that a lot of stuff has taken inspiration from. But I didn't expect the movie to be such a huge hit, which I guess that's on me. And so I watched it later on streaming on HBO. And I don't think I felt that strongly about it. I remember when it got to the end of the movie and it was like a cliffhanger, I was like, wait, what? There's more to this? I didn't realize that this was like a multiple part series of films either. So I think I walked away from it feeling very like, whatever, you know?
I'm oddly in almost the exact same boat. I think I watched the movie after it left theaters. I mean, this was 2021, so I don't know how maybe like limited the theatrical release was anyway, with people getting back out into public spaces. I don't really remember, but I was also in that camp. I had read like the first half of the Dune novel some years prior and thought the book was interesting, but I think this movie presented itself as something that was trying to hit such a high bar that I found myself being oddly critical of it. Visually, it's spectacular. It is a rare case of a newer movie that is like entirely VFX created that still kind of looks and feels impressive. I think a lot of computer animated set pieces and environments just look kind of like featureless and are not that interesting to look at. Dune
I agree.
is, and it has interesting sound design. Like there's a lot going in its favor, but I had no emotional resonance to anything in it.
I agree with both of those statements, actually. I think it looks great, especially compared to a lot of other modern, like VFX heavy films. But I think it comes from the source material that I just didn't really connect with any of the characters in the movie at all. And some of
Yeah.
the lore is dense too, which is great for like a sci-fi novel. And I know there was an original Dune adaptation, which I'm actually interested to watch that one because I'm curious as to how they tried adapting the material then. But I think that's why I walked away from it like not feeling that strongly either way. I was like that looked great, like it was entertaining in a way. But the characters like and the story did not resonate with me that much.
Yeah.
So
There's elements to Dune that as a film were harmed by being an earnest adaptation of the story. Like the characters in Dune the novel have like a stoicism about them and there's specific details like the what do they call like the slow suits? Like you can't shoot these people with bullets, so you have to like really gently push swords into them. Like those aspects were adapted honestly into the movie, and they looked frankly stupid at times. Um,
yeah.
like there's nothing tense about like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, hold still. Like it's not. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's aspects that I think made it a hard thing to adapt, and they did a great job in a way. But the core of that story is hard to get into for some.
Yeah, it's reminding me there's I believe the author's name is Brandon Sanderson, who a lot of people would be familiar with. But he's wrote a ton of things, but the Mistborn series is a popular one that's getting a film adaptation now. And I've seen people say very similar things about that book series has very dense mechanics to the way that things work in that world and in the combat especially. And so people are very like interested in seeing how they're going to adapt that into the film version. I know in that case he's very involved. I think he's like going to be the screenwriter on the film. But I think similar case there. Yeah, I think they maybe this modern Dune series has done the best they could in terms of adapting the material, but it's just, it's old sci-fi. It's old text that they're working with.
Yeah. So as far as where it would rank for us, like none of this is to say, oh, the Dune movies are bad. I never saw the second one because I had no interest after the first one. So that speaks to our impression of it. But I would not go as far as to say like the movie's bad. It just is fine. Like I found it landed in a strong middle ground. So we're sitting on a weird list. We have 10 random movies that we pulled previously. I think this could sail all the way up to Hercules, uncontested, which is our current number 5, the Disney Hercules. Do you think it's better than Disney Hercules?
Those are so hard to compare actually because
Nah, they're basically the same thing. Sand.
Sandals. I think a lot of this list is going to be going off like gut feelings, and I'd put it maybe right above Hercules. I think that feels
Above
fine.
Hercules, that would put it below our torchbearer for the whole series, Hot Fuzz, which was the first movie we pulled. Dune and Hot Fuzz, honestly, for me, similar feel. Like good sound movies that I should like more than I do, and something about them didn't fully connect.
You don't have to like everything, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
just not for me, which is
yeah,
unfortunate for this definitive list of the best movies ever made. But
it is definitive, and everyone has to swear by it
everyone
forever.
has to
So,
abide by it. Yeah. This is your one chance, Dune, So is that above or below Hot Fuzz?
oh gosh, stupid Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is killing us. If you heard our first episode, which please go back and watch it. There is obviously continuity between that and this. I don't know what to make of Hot Fuzz. It's aimless. I don't know how I would, but it's a good one to have because I feel like that's a shorthand. Is it better than Hot Fuzz? Yes or no?
I say let's put it right below. In between Hot Fuzz
Right
and
below?
Hercules feels right for
Okay.
Dune for right now.
So the current fifth best movie ever made is 2021's Dune, written and directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Are you okay?
I'll get it. Don't worry. Okay, so Dune, number 5. Good job, Dune. Frank, that means it's time for you to spin that list and give us our next movie.
Spin that list. Oh, it's really close. 393.
393.
Yeah. Why is that so surprising?
393. Let's see. 393 on our alphabetized list is 1982's Dragon Lord. What is that?
I have no idea. Is that you?
That might be me. Let's do a quick search. Okay, 1982's Dragon Lord is a Jackie Chan movie, our second one, but I don't know which of us saw this. It looks like a historical setting Jackie Chan movie, one of his earlier ones before his big breakout. I couldn't tell you which of us saw this.
Well, we got to keep the list moving, so let's just plug it in right under Who Am I? Keep trucking?
Should we be that careless about it?
Got a lot of movies to get through.
Got a lot of movies to get through. Okay, I mean, considering I've seen dozens of his films and could tell you a lot about most of them, the fact that Dragon Lord doesn't ring a bell means that, yeah, we're going to slot it right below Who Am I, which is what I at least remember the plot of.
Let me Google it real quick. Let me see if this brings any memories up.
Listen, the list is unforgiving, okay? If you don't make a strong enough impression, how are we supposed to rate you as a great, all-time movie? I couldn't even tell you what it was about.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on. Spin that list.
Spin that list. Oh, okay. We're going nearer to the bottom. It is 1,228.
1,228. That would be... Oh, this is amusing. Okay, 1228 on our alphabetized list is the 1985 Japanese film Tampopo. Frank, I got you a Criterion Collection copy of Tampopo for Christmas or something, and I think you haven't watched it. And not only that, I think you flew back to LA and you left it here.
That's... Come on now.
He had it in his hands, people.
Yeah. Well, we have one of those discless PlayStation 5s here. So, I don't think I have anything that can play Blu-rays or DVDs. So that might have been part of the issue.
Okay, I will say, Tampopo, Japanese film, immediately in contention for the top of the list as it stands right now, because it's a fantastic, fantastic movie. I've seen it twice. It's one of my wife's favorite movies. It's this very stylistic film presented almost with a quality akin to an old American Western, but instead of being about an old saloon, it's about a woman trying to run her own ramen shop. And this guy comes in who is presented like a cowboy. He literally has a cowboy hat on, who has to kind of teach her the way in order to make real authentic ramen noodle dishes. And the whole thing is this bizarre contemplation on cooking and food and the life cycle and the nature of what makes someone an amateur or a professional. It's so hard to pitch why this movie is fascinating, but it's genuinely really, really good. Even someone who has not spent a lot of time watching foreign films, films from outside your own country, Tampopo's great. It translates well. It's amazing.
No, that actually, yeah, that sounds great. I understand why you got me that DVD now. Wish I could have seen
Yeah,
it, but
it's sitting at my place right now, where I watched it again. I, I took the plastic off. You didn't even get to.
I do really want to watch that one. I remember you actually. I remember this gift. I remember you pitching it almost the same way, actually.
I remember thinking, God, I can't wait to throw this out on the way home.
No, 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 no. I would love to watch this movie. Mail me that DVD so I can't. So I'll try and just
So I
force
can't
it
watch
into
it.
the
Yeah.
TV somehow.
So I would say our top movies on the list so far, we have Attack of the Clones, Highlander, Angel Heart, a lot of 80s films near the top. I'd be comfortable putting Tampopo at the very least at number 2. I like it even more than Highlander, which I spoke very highly of last time. The question is, can it go above Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones? Or are we just going to sell out in Episode 2?
Wait, which version of this is selling out? Not leaving Attack of the Clones at the top?
I think leaving Attack of the Clones at the top is us destroying our credibility. But it's also Episode 2 of the series.
Oh.
So anyway, Tampopo, number 1 movie.
Yeah, put it on top. Let's be real. Come on.
Let's be real. We're not total hacks. We just didn't care enough about Highlander to not put Star Wars above it.
Yeah, totally.
So Tampopo, temporarily, best movie of all time. Not even mad. It's a genuinely delightful watch. Very comedic. Couldn't recommend that enough. Okay, so Star Wars Episode 2 has been unseated. Tampopo is now the best movie of all time, unless our next one ranks it even higher. So Frank, why don't we spin that list?
That's the fun thing. We don't know what's coming next.
We don't know.
Spin that list, and we got number... Does this even work? 363 this time. I feel like we're just ping-ponging here.
363. Okay, yeah. Strange. Okay, number 363 on the alphabetical list. Frank, this is a movie we saw together at the movie theater. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness from 2022.
Oh, I remember that. That was, yeah.
I remember that.
I was
there.
It was
a Marvel movie. Very mainstream. Frank was there.
That was the Sam Raimi one.
Yes, directed by Sam Raimi. This was in that period where the Marvel Cinematic Universe had made it past its endgame and interest was waning. Still is. And so they started handing out projects to slightly more, I guess, auteur directors. Not that they haven't always done that a little bit, but I think them bringing in Sam Raimi was very much like, please pay attention to this one. We know people like Sam Raimi's filmmaking. It's very, I don't know, kind of nonconformist. It's very stylistic in a way that draws attention to it being a movie. You know what I mean? Like a lot of obvious sort of comedic use of cameras. That's a very generic sentence. He uses cameras.
He turns them on. He does turn the camera on at some point.
Turns the camera on. He uses a lot of over-the-top comedic sight gags and like flashy camera moves in his earlier films, stuff like Evil Dead. I will say Doctor Strange here kind of still just feels like a regular Marvel movie.
It does. That came out, I believe, around the same time as the last Spider-Man movie where they did the cameos. And
yeah. Oh, right. Sam Raimi Spider-Man, too. I got ahead of myself. Obviously, he's done superhero movies as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't leave a lasting impression. I think it had some of his trademark visual style in parts of the film, but it overall still felt very much like a Marvel movie. And as you mentioned, like Marvel past its endgame peak. So not great.
Not great.
And I think it set up the, like, again, this all kind of blends together in a mush at this point, but like, I think it ends on some sort of cliffhanger with like Tilda Swinton, if I'm remembering correctly. I honestly don't know. I could have dreamed that, but I think that's how the movie ends.
I know, yeah, he grows like a third eye, and I don't even know if that character has been seen since.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, it might not even be followed up on because, like, that's been another thing Marvel's done recently is they just like dropped. I think like I saw an article one time that was like all the post-credit scenes that have led to nothing, and I think that might be one of them. Yeah,
I mean, which makes it probably all the better that like the final post-credit scene in this one was just like a joke with like Bruce Campbell showing up because he's in all the Sam Raimi movies. Like it was nothing. It was like an intentional intentionally flat scene almost to make fun of you for waiting.
Yeah, totally. That was fine.
Gosh, I honestly have almost nothing good to say about this one. It's not like a terrible film. It's just grossly unremarkable.
It's a Marvel movie. It's like
Yeah.
that just you know what that feels like. You know what that is. Like you can fill in the blanks even if you haven't seen this movie.
Yeah. On the rankings, it's going to be in the bottom half. I would say that it can easily slot in above some of these movies at the bottom that we hardly even remember or like strongly disliked. It's for me, the question is, does Doctor Strange 2 get above Jackie Chan's Who Am I?
I don't think so. Does it get above Dragon Lord though?
Honestly, having not even recalled the movie, I would probably prefer Dragon Lord.
Yeah, let's put it below Dragon Lord, actually.
But above Hilary Duff's Cinderella Story.
Well, that's a good movie. Let's not be too hasty
Was it?
here, but no, it can go above.
Okay, you did not seem eager to talk about it last time.
Well, you were judging me. I didn't want to, I was like, okay,
I was
I
judging
like
a little
Cinderella's
bit,
story.
Listen, if actual like Disney Cinderella shows up on this list, it'll go much higher. But Hilary Duff, not so sure.
She was an icon of the early 2000s.
Same. Okay, that's another one locked in. Things are moving quick today. We might get through more than 10 movies. Frank, back to you. Let's spin that wheel.
Spinning the wheel. And we are landing on number... What?
What was that pitch you made it to?
Just trying to add some flavor to it.
Yeah, no, that was good. We don't have a theme song for the wheel yet, so...
We'll get there, though. I like it.
Spinning the wheel. It sounds like you're on a wheel while it's spinning.
Right, exactly. Yeah, somebody's throwing knives at me.
Yeah.
It's going to be number 806.
806?
Yeah, you're always surprised by the numbers. Like
Well, I'm scrolling to find it while we talk about it. Okay, first off, we were one away from pulling a movie that we've covered on our main Meet Your Double Feature programming. So that's a bummer. I want to pull those at some point.
Yeah.
Instead, number 806 alphabetically, 1997's Men in Black.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is an
real movies that people would know.
Okay, number 806.
If that is your real name. Okay, Men in Black, I would say, off the bat, is a movie that's like actually even a bit better than people give it credit for.
I agree. I think it's one of those movies that was a huge commercial financial success, but is also like critically speaking a good film. It's entertaining, it's fun. It's
like appropriately balanced between comedy and drama.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like fun performances too from the two leads, like Will Smith and Agent K. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, I really like Men in Black. I think I saw it again just a couple of years ago, and I think I'm impressed most by Will Smith's performance. I mean, this was pretty early into him breaking out as an actor instead of... I mean, he'd already done TV for a long time, but this was like some of his earliest big film roles. He does genuinely good. He gives like the appropriate amount of gravity to like the more serious parts of the story, but then also obviously brings in his like goofy comedy to it. And there's also just occasionally really strong bits of dialogue. I think Tommy Lee Jones has like a little monologue to him about... What does he say? This is a pull. We had a quote from this movie as our bio on our old Xbox 360 profile.
That's true. I remember that. Yeah.
It was something like, he was like, a person is smart, people are dumb, stupid animals, and you know it, or something like that. But he was trying to draw a comparison about how obviously silly it sounded for aliens to exist. And he compared it to the evolving understanding of the world that we've had throughout history, where he's like, people used to know that the sun was the center of the universe, and they used to know this and that, all things that have since been disproven. Can you imagine what you'll know tomorrow? Like, and it's a very interesting piece of dialogue in what could have easily been a really silly movie.
Yeah, it's very like philosophical, and then even the ending of the film where it just like zooms out from Earth and then just keeps zooming further and further out until it's like giant aliens are using entire galaxies as like a game of marbles. It's like kind of silly, but also like kind of poignant too, in terms of like, sci-fi and like philosophical exploration of the unknown. And yeah, I think it's honestly, it's probably my favorite Will Smith performance out of any of his movies. Like that, like,
Oh, absolutely. Because he has two sides, at least. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just there to crack jokes and he's not, gunning for an Oscar. He's playing a character who is lighthearted, but still self-serious about, like, the dangers happening in the story.
yeah. Plus, so much like iconography from that movie too, like their little memory eraser thing. Like,
But yeah, the neuralizer.
Put the neuralizer. Yeah, they put on the sunglasses. Like, they got those great outfits. There's that funny scene where they're like testing Will Smith, and he they're like shooting the cardboard cutouts of the aliens, and he like shoots the little girl or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's just great. Even and great performance from Vincent D'Onofrio too, as like the gross cockroach guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Him portraying an alien wearing a human body as like a skin suit is so well done. I can't believe it. Like, he is wearing prosthetics to exaggerate how like droopy he looks, but the actual like vocal performance and his mannerisms are amazing. Super, super memorable. It's like the opposite of Dragonlord.
It's yeah, exactly. That scene at the end too, where Will Smith is like stepping on all the cockroaches, and he's like, "Oh, was that your auntie?" Like,
well, yeah, exactly. Okay. Say, genuinely funny, genuinely good sci-fi, strong performances, memorable characters. Like, for me, Men in Black's already competing with Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Honestly, I'm gonna put it above Attack of the Clones. In terms of it competing with Tampopo, then again, you're getting into an interesting discussion, because it's like this very, from what I understand, Tampopo to be a more like artsy film, like something more smaller and character driven, versus Men in Black, which is so big. But Men in Black just succeeds on so many levels, which is like such a rare thing to.
I agree. Like, if you can aim for that broad of an appeal, but still have substance that goes all the way down, like, it's kind of a matter of ideology at that point. I feel like you and I personally have always really loved movies in that middle ground. Like, they're trying to be big and for everybody, but they have substance behind them.
I think that's what, to that point that you just made, like, that's what a lot of people think of when they think of a movie, especially a good movie or a movie that they like, is something like a Men in Black. That it's like something that has a cultural footprint, but is still like very good and entertaining, and has artistic value too. It really speaks to the dichotomy of what movies can be, especially in that, big commercial space. But yeah, what were you going to say about Tampopo?
Tampopo has more DNA in common with Men in Black than you might think, in terms of how odd and comedic it is. Like, there's vignettes in Tampopo that are so strange and so like just goofy funny. Like, there's a scene at the beginning that's this old man trying to like teach a young man how to properly eat like a bowl of ramen. Because, in Japan, a bowl of ramen is like a set dish that has like noodles and pork and vegetables all kind of neatly arranged. And he's like trying to explain to the young man like how to properly eat the food, but it's just like pure gibberish. He's just like, first, you have to tap your chopstick on the pork 3 times as if to say, I'm sorry. Like, it's not going for anything more than Men in Black is, in a way. Like, it is a smaller scale movie, and it's not, a action blockbuster. But they actually are kind of going for the same thing. So I'd be happy putting Men in Black on either side of Tampopo.
Yeah, it is tough, because then it really calls into question whether we're ranking these on like artistic value or entertainment value. I agree. I would be okay with this going on either side. I think for now, let's maybe number one. Let's just put Men in Black at number one. Yeah,
maybe number one. Tampopo, get lost.
Loser.
Yeah, who is her? If we pull Ace Ventura, by the way, straight to the bottom.
Ace Ventura's not that bad.
No, it's not. I couldn't think of how to end that sentence, and I thought it'd be funny. It's stretching the bottom. Okay, Men in Black. We have two, I don't know, new number ones in the same episode. That's fun. I guess let's keep it up. Maybe we'll see an even better movie.
Yeah, let's find out. Spin
that
the
wheel.
wheel. We're getting number...
It's a slightly longer vowel every time.
Yeah.
Episode 4, it's going to be like, spinning the wheel. It's just going to fade out.
Just got to find the right note, where right where we like it, and then that'll be it forever. So it's going to be number 1024. 1024.
Oh my goodness, this is a very crowd-pleasing episode. These are movies people will know. 1024 on our alphabetized list, 1989's Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Probably best known for that Family Guy bit where he just keeps saying Roadhouse.
Yeah, no, I'm almost certain that it is. But Roadhouse, we talked about this on the podcast recently, right? Or during our Shoot Fighter episode, maybe?
Possibly. I don't remember how much made it into the episode, but we did bring it up.
I think it did because it was the throat ripping scene.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a very strange bit in Roadhouse, which is a Patrick Swayze, mostly a drama, frankly. He does some martial arts style stuff in it, but it is a story about him being a bouncer at this very troublesome bar that has like issues with a rich guy who's trying to own the land and owns a competing business, and also just like rough and tumble people coming through. And Swayze is portraying just the coolest man alive, is essentially his character. But one of the details about him, in order to sell that he's maybe like a little too violent, is there's a rumor that he ripped a man's throat out. And then later in the movie, they go, oh no, yeah, that's 100% true. Also, he just did it again.
Yeah, that was the most surprising part. Because yeah, it feels like this like urban legend type story that people are telling about him. Like he's such a prolific character in the bar bouncer world, which is kind of funny that that's even a thing too. They're like, oh yeah, I heard he, ripped a guy's throat out one time. But yeah, he literally did. That's his signature move. Don't mess with him. He'll rip your throat out, I guess.
He is portrayed as a character from a fighting game, like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or something. Like he just has a fatality move. He also makes it look really effortless when he rips out a guy's throat in the movie, which is part of what makes it so funny. He's like, oops, got your throat.
Yeah. To me, that's the most memorable part about the whole movie. Because is obviously a film that's been around for a long time. But I just saw it recently, within the past couple of years, I think. It was my first time seeing Roadhouse, and I was thoroughly enjoyed by it. That doesn't make sense. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
By it. What did the movie think about you?
Yeah, it was watching me back.
Yeah, Roadhouse falls into a similar camp. I know we have Highlander on the list, and that's from around the same time. Similar quality to it, where it's like so over the top macho that it comes back around to being almost like absurdist in a way that makes it kind of more entertaining. Because Swayze's not just a throat ripping man. He's also doing like Tai Chi, and is just like handsome and charming and supposed to be really like soft spoken and nice. But then because it's still kind of aimed at a male audience, it has to end with him like beating 20 people to death at the end.
It's very atmospheric too, which I really appreciated about it. It feels like a very lived in space. There's a lot of character given to this bar that he becomes the bouncer for. So much so that like the bar is a character in the film in a way. And there's fun side characters like his mentor character, who I think, is that Sam Elliott playing?
Yes, I wanted to talk about Sam Elliott because just like the whole he ripped a guy's throat out, one of the like prevailing things about Patrick Swayze's character, who I thought I remembered his name. I'm just going to keep calling him Patrick Swayze. He has this figure in his life who like taught him everything he knows. And from a movie perspective, before Sam Elliott shows up, you're like, we're not actually going to see this guy, right? Like, how could you live up to the way he's being talked about as being like even cooler than this Patrick Swayze character? And then Sam Elliott just actually is. They found an even more suave and cool bouncer man. And like to hit that after setting it up for so long is genuinely impressive.
especially as like the older mentor character too. Like to still be in comparison to Patrick Swayze of all people, who is just like one of the coolest guys in the history of film. Like Sam Elliott, like really stepped up to the plate with that character.
Welcome back to the show where we just glaze Patrick Swayze way too much.
As everyone should. He's amazing, man. Patrick Swayze is like, he's a movie star. Like movies have always been sold on stars. I think now we've moved into a time that's not as good where movies are sold on like properties. Like, it's like, oh, they're doing a Superman movie. It's always a different actor playing Superman, and they're sort of interchangeable. People are there for the character more so than for like the people in the movie. But, you look at people like Swayze, like Tom Cruise, especially people of that era of filmmaking. It's like that's what got butts in seats was Patrick Swayze is the lead in this movie, and he's great. He's awesome.
He's one of my favorites in that category too. Like he didn't do a lot of movies like Roadhouse. I mean, obviously he was doing other things like Dirty Dancing or more serious stuff like Point Break. But he has such a like effeminate quality to some of his characters too. Like again, the kind of soft-spoken, like calm demeanor that he puts out even in Roadhouse through a lot of it is so different than like a straight up like Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger action man. Like he's got layers, okay? He listens.
Well, there's
eyes.
Totally. And also like on that same point though, like it's a recurring line of dialogue where multiple characters always say to him like, "Oh, I thought you'd be bigger." Because he's not like a huge guy. He's not like a Stallone or a Schwarzenegger. But he's he has this mythos behind him. So yeah, it's very interesting, that movie. It was a pleasant watch as one that I've heard a lot about and is just part of the cultural zeitgeist to finally sit down and watch it and for it to sort of live up to those cultural expectations. I was like, no, Roadhouse is awesome. I should have seen this a long time ago.
Plus, from a storytelling perspective, he has the benefit of being a giant red flag man, which a lot of people love in their like romance novels and stuff. He's like super good, but also he did rip that guy's throat out. Don't date him, Jennifer. Just if there is anyone who is
just if you needed to hear that right now.
Don't do it. He's bad for you.
Well, that was like a thing at the end of the movie too, where he has to like, it's very much like that Jackie Chan thing where he's like, don't push me, don't make me do this. He's like, I don't want to be that guy anymore. Like, but I will kung fu you to death. It might just happen.
I'll do it. Would you say that his presentation in Roadhouse is akin to like an old Western? Because that's so often the John Wayne-esque character is like, they're almost a civilized person, but they have too much in common with the like dangerous outlaw characters. And you need that in order for them to keep the town safe, but ultimately they can't
stay in the town. Yeah,
because they're too wild to actually stay in one place. So the relationship always ends on this kind of, because he does leave at the end, right?
Oh, actually, I don't know if he does. I think he might like stay with, I can't remember who was playing the romantic lead in that movie.
I also don't remember. I can stop to look it up.
Yeah, let's stop to look it up because that would feel unfair because I think she's great in that movie too.
Kelly Lynch.
Oh, okay.
Who, I guess, I haven't seen a lot of the stuff that she has been in. Kelly Lynch was in Cocktail, which is a Tom Cruise movie. We were just talking about him. And was in Roadhouse. And then also had an acclaimed performance in the 1989 movie Drugstore Cowboy. So kind of an 80s localized performer.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I think he does stay with her in the end, like in the town maybe. But I don't know. Go watch Roadhouse and let us know. Yeah. But you're right. That's a very good point to bring up, is that it is very Western inspired, at least. Because he rolls into town. He's like the new sheriff into town. Yeah, but he's the bouncer of the bar. That's how they're translating that.
It's a big combination of genres that kind of resonates in a way that we talked about Highlander last time. It's just like peak 80s vibes, Roadhouse. You don't need to say anything else.
Well, I'm going to defer to you then, because I think this... I have a feeling of where this should land. To me, I think it's like in between Attack of the Clones and Highlander.
Interesting. Sails past Hot Fuzz. I agree with that. It's past the
Yeah.
Fat Huzz boundary.
The Fathas.
Whatever. If this list was like a geographical map, there'd just be like a ravine in the middle of it labeled Hot Fuzz. I would say it's definitely above or below. I mean, Angel Heart 2 is also kind of in that same camp as Highlander. Very different movie, but has some similar type of appeal to it. He could go anywhere. I would say Roadhouse, maybe above Highlander.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too.
Okay, so that's currently going to be number 4 for Patrick Swayze, R.I.P. You handsome man.
Yeah, I think a lot of this list, as I may have said earlier, is just gonna be going off vibes. I think we could spend forever deliberating too much, but it is final. There will be no changes ever.
There will be no changes accepted. We are going to be submitting this to the Library of Congress as soon as we are finished.
Yeah, any day now.
Any day now. All right, Frank, we're 2/3 of the way through our hour. We're actually doing great. I feel like we've gotten a lot of good discussion in, but let's keep moving. Let's spin that list.
Spin in the list, and we are going to 974.
Okay, 974. All right, we're still on track. People will know this one, I think. This is 1992's Porco Rosso, which is our first Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh, that's cool. We're getting a good mix of animated films in here already, which is interesting.
Yeah. This is going so much better than last time when we pulled a Sailor Moon movie and the Hilary Duff one. People will recognize these.
People will know those ones. There's a lot of people will recognize Cinderella's story, all right? There's people out there that like it.
We could do a separate retrospective about that sometime. Frank, have you seen Porco Rosso?
I actually don't think I have. This is one
okay.
I've seen a good amount of Studio Ghibli, but not all of them.
Porco Rosso, imagery-wise, is predominantly about a pig man flying an old World War II plane that kind of looks like the plane that Tails flies around in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, that paints a very clear picture, so thank you.
Like a red biplane. Sonic is not on the wing of it, but there is a pig in the cockpit, played by, in the English dub, Michael Keaton.
Oh, that's fun. And he's the lead character, this pig?
He's the lead pig. Porco Rosso's great. I would say, like, top level. It doesn't immediately come to mind as like a favorite Studio Ghibli movie, but the bar for their films is so high that it still clears like a lot of stuff. Like, it will be in the upper echelons of this list, no matter how long it gets, because these movies are just gorgeously animated and deeply moving. Like, every single one, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a Miyazaki picture as well, I believe, right?
Specifically, yeah. It's like the full Hayao Miyazaki Studio Ghibli team in the 90s, which is around the time they released a lot of their biggest stuff. I mean, I think the most famous Studio Ghibli movie might be, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name, ironically. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about Spirited Away?
Spirited Away, there it is. Spirited Away, I think, has the biggest reach. Like, that was the one that got an Oscar nomination in the US. I think a lot of people would think of that one first. And there's others too, but like Porco Rosso is pretty much just as good. It just doesn't have quite as much of that. It doesn't have as much of that je ne sais quoi that some of these other movies have that puts them even a little bit higher. So on a Studio Ghibli ranking, it'd be in the middle. On our list, it just like default goes pretty high up.
Yeah, so I mean, what do we think? Where are we slotting this one in?
Does Porco Rosso crash his plane into the Hot Fuzz ravine? I don't know. I think you could, much like with that Jackie Chan movie, I can't remember a lot about it. Like, I remember that it's a smaller scale story. I know he has like a kind of a feud with like another guy in a plane, and there's implications that like he used to be a regular human man turned into a pig.
I guess, would you put it above or below Hercules?
That's a good spot. It's probably similar to how we mentioned Hercules as like still a fantastic film, but not as strong as its contemporary Disney movies. Porco Rosso is that, but for Ghibli. However, I think it probably goes above Hercules.
Yeah, that's fine.
That puts it below Dune, which I think is fair. That's me. That's me letting some ego go out of this, because like I found Dune a little boring, but it's still probably a more substantive movie. It checks a couple more boxes, so I'm okay with Porco Rosso going right below Dune.
Yeah, that feels right. That feels right to me as well.
Feels right, and it's final. Legally cannot be changed.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. You're welcome.
That's actually a quote from a Cinderella story starring Hilary Duff.
You wouldn't even know.
I wouldn't even know. That's true. All right, moving on. Spin that wheel.
Spinning. Jeez, low numbers again here. Well, I guess high numbers, depending on how you want to look at it. 1,125.
Okay. Okay, number 1125. Frank, again, I think you haven't seen this one, but we've talked about it. Is 1959's Some Like It Hot.
Oh, this is one I've wanted to watch for a long time. This has been on my list. So you can tell us a little bit about that one.
Some Like It Hot is directed by Billy Wilder, who also made Sunset Boulevard. Both very, very famous Golden Age Hollywood films, although Some Like It Hot, I believe, had some role in the like final ending of the Hays Code in Hollywood. So you maybe have a better summary of this to me. For people who don't know, what was the importance of like the Hays Code in like 30s, 40s, 50s Hollywood?
It was essentially just a set of rules in studio filmmaking. In a sense, it was a list of things that were prohibited. And I'm not sure what year it officially ended, but I believe a certain era of like golden age Hollywood ended around the 60s going into the 70s, and that's when you got this huge shift in the types of films you would see, because it was a shift from this like very picturesque, crisp, clean world of Hollywood filmmaking to something more gritty and substantive and realistic. Yeah. And the Hays Code was a big part of that because of the types of things studio filmmakers weren't allowed to show in their films.
Yeah, essentially it was like an attempt to self-censor from Hollywood itself to avoid being censored officially by the US government for content, because they knew that if it went to that point, it would strip all of their control away. Whereas if they kind of preemptively stopped major studio releases from having like too much violence, too much sexual implications or content, that they could get away unscathed, which was obviously limiting, but did create this interesting period of like a lot more strong use of like implications and metaphor to talk about those same things without talking about them, you know?
Yeah, it led to some cool things. I mean, like the golden era of Hollywood produced some fantastic films. I mean, when the studios had a monopoly, it was a bad thing in a way, but a lot of the films that came out of that era were amazing. And as you put it too, like it really forced some filmmakers to make interesting creative decisions in terms of like how they would tell their story under those limitations.
Yeah. And Some Like It Hot, interestingly, I think along with a number of other films around that time, just were such big successes and pushed the boundaries just enough that it kind of broke the wall down in heading into the 60s. Because plot-wise, the movie is about these two musicians, these like down on their luck musicians, who accidentally witness the real historical event called the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in Chicago, which was a like mob hit where all these people got killed with like Tommy guns in a very, over the top fashion. So these characters witness this and are being chased by the mob because, so they don't reveal their identities. And in order to get away, they dress up in drag in order to get into like an all women's like jazz band or something that's like heading down to, I don't know whether maybe down to Florida or something. So they have to spend most of the movie in drag pretending to be women, while one of them is inadvertently falling in love with a woman that they meet there, played by Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, that's fun. That's just really fun.
It's a surprisingly tasteful movie. Like, obviously, it's full of, it's not up to par with a true Renaissance film like White Chicks, but...
Sure,
It
sure.
it manages to avoid being like deeply problematic, and considering it's from the 50s. There's even a very famous bit at the end where the one guy dressed as a woman is in love with Marilyn Monroe and dealing with like how to reveal himself to her, and profess his love with. He ends up having to essentially portray a fictional man in these off time from being dressed up as a fake woman. The other guy is just being relentlessly hit on by this old man and wants nothing to do with it. It's Jack Lemmon is playing this character, and it's just this old rich man trying to like make her, in quotes, marry him. And at the end, in order to finally get him to stop, Jack Lemmon rips his wig off and is like, "I'm a man." And then the guy just goes, "Well, nobody's perfect." And then the movie
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that clip a bunch of times, and that's what's made me want to watch the movie. I'm like, oh, that's great. And I love that that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's the last line in the movie. All I could say, I finally saw this movie just in 2025, I believe. It does drag considerably in the middle. There's a point where they reach this hotel, which is one that you and I have been near. It's a hotel on a beach in like San Diego. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's been used as a filming location a lot. And we've been to that beach, so I realized while watching the movie that I had seen that before. And I think that once the characters reach this spot, there's the like off and on thing with Marilyn Monroe's character, who does give a great performance in her own right. But the movie just like slows to a halt though. Like the action's all done, the energy's out of the room, and it takes like 30 minutes and devotes it to this bit with her and the other guy. And then by the end it comes back into it. But if they could have trimmed down that middle bit, you'd have like a straight up like all-timer top movie. And instead you have a movie that's really, really good, but not flawless.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's valid. It's valid criticism. So where do we think that lands on this all-knowing list here?
I believe Some Like It Hot actually does appear on a lot of like top 100 movies ever made type lists. I would not put it at the top of our list right now. It is a fantastic piece of filmmaking. It's I don't think we're trying to rate things based on like influential, like because that would just favor certain points in history.
I'm picturing this just on the other side of that Hot Fuzz dividing line.
So above Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, maybe in between Hot Fuzz and Angel Heart.
I like that. Like, Some Like It Hot is an important movie that you should watch and is super memorable, but it does have more obvious flaws for what it was going for. I mean, these 80s movies in the middle of the list right now, like, they're not flawless. They're not, they're very goofy and full of tropes, but like they adhere to the tropes correctly and they're earnest about it. Whereas Some Like It Hot was going for a thing and mostly nailed it, but did kind of lose me in the middle. So I think above the Hot Fuzz line, it just cleared that gap.
Yeah, it jumped the Springfield Gorge.
It jumped the Springfield Gorge. There you go. Okay, Frank, we've got 5 minutes left in our scheduled time. Do you want to try to fit in one more list item?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Spin that wheel.
Ooh, number 500 even.
Number 500. Okay. Number 500, 2017's Geostorm. Geostorm sucks.
What is Geostorm?
Geostorm is a science fiction film starring Gerard Butler, deep into the part of his career where he just makes obvious trash and gets paid for doing it. The premise is oddly complicated. You start off being told that at some point the world became engulfed, just like the regular world, became engulfed by natural disasters. What?
That was just funny, just like the regular world.
Just, not a cool, interesting version of the world, just ours. Became engulfed in natural disasters. And so the government, led by Gerard Butler, who's a science man, built a globe-spanning grid of satellites in order to control the weather. But all of this happened before the movie started.
Okay, so nothing interesting happens in the movie.
Hey, maybe something happens on the way to building the satellites. No, nothing happens. So Gerard Butler, he's like your classic, I'm a science man, but I'm also a cool man. So like he doesn't listen to authority and he yells at people and gets fired.
Yep, that's what men do.
That's what men do. And then when the story picks up in the present day, it's like everything's fine. The world works correctly, but somebody starts sabotaging the satellite grid to cause these completely insane weather spikes in really limited areas that last for a few minutes at a time. So like there's a news report all of a sudden that in the middle of the like desert in Iraq, a bunch of people froze to death in like 5 seconds because this massive weather malfunction took place. And then they cut to somebody in Hong Kong or something, and like lava erupts onto the street because it just gets superheated or something.
So it's kind of like a modern disaster movie.
It sort of is, but not really, because it doesn't linger on any of these moments and ends up being more of like a conspiratorial, like who's behind this kind of story. It's like a world in peril narrative, but it's not a traditional like disaster movie, how do we escape alive kind of plot. It's just how do we turn off the bad people pressing these buttons.
Okay, but generally speaking, you did not love Geostorm.
Geostorm is unrepentant garbage. There is a dynamic between the two brothers in the movie because Gerard Butler has a younger brother who's like the more cool-headed one that still works for the company that Gerard Butler got fired from. And they try to play up their relationship in this strange way in the middle of the movie, where Butler knows that all of their communications are being like surveilled by whoever's doing this. And so he has to talk to his brother in some weird like made up code from when they were kids. But the code is really stupid. It's like only listen to every fourth word that I say. So they have this whole conversation, but then he like somehow knows to play back every fourth word. And it's just Gerard Butler going like, the government is behind this.
That would be so hard to do in practice. Like, to actually think about, like, to string together a sentence that makes sense where the fourth word of what? Like, what? How do you know when the sentence breaks and you start over at one to get to the fourth word?
I think it's just like, every fourth word until he's done talking.
Oh my gosh.
And he does like write it down first. Butler's not improvising this. But
oh, okay. I thought he was. That was how I was picturing it. I'm like, that's impossible.
I think he writes it
Mr.
down.
Phantom of the Opera. I don't think you can do that.
Phantom of the Opera. But also he's having a conversation. So like, how did he? Right? I don't know. It's dumb. The movie's dumb. Right? Straight to the bottom. I'll say it. Geostorm.
Okay, so under 48 hours.
Under 48 hours, it's just boring and stupid.
Okay. Should we do one more to round this out and end on maybe a good one?
That would give us 10 movies for this episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do one more spin.
All right. Spinning that wheel. And it is 719. 719.
719. Okay, number 719 is Kingsman, The Golden Circle.
Oh, God, bottom zero. Hate that movie.
Is this the second one?
I believe so. That movie frustrates me. I really strongly dislike it. I'm going to put it below Geostorm.
Straight to the bottom. Let's do one more.
All right. Number 806. Did we get like 807 earlier? I feel like we were really close to this.
No, we already got 806 today. That was Men in Black.
Oh, wow. This number generator kind of sucks. Thanks, Google.
That's awesome. Do we get a free space when that happens? Or do we just have to
I don't know, right? Yeah. How does that work? Okay, we're going to do 932.
Okay.
I'm not even sorry to people that like that Kingsman movie. It's bad. You shouldn't like it. Change your mind.
You shouldn't like it. You should feel bad. Okay. I'm all right with this one. Number 932 alphabetically is the 1998 film Out of Sight, starring George Clooney.
Oh, is this the one it's the same director as the Ocean's films?
Yes, it feels like a proto Ocean's 11 movie. Like the character's not the same, but like it's still just George Clooney, and it kind of has a similar quality to it.
Yeah. No, that's a fine movie. I admittedly don't have much to say about that one, but that's kind of exactly what it is. That's how somebody pitched it to me. It was actually our cousin. He was like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And I was like, "No." And then we threw it on. And I was like, "Okay, yeah. Cool."
That was a film. Thank you.
That's how we speak to each other. It's very formal.
Regards. Yeah, Out of Sight. I definitely don't like it more than the like original Ocean's 11, but it's a very solid crime movie with like a comedic undertone, carried by a couple of strong performances. It's George Clooney opposite Angelina Jolie.
Maybe. I could be.
Let's play the looking it up music.
Yeah. You tell me.
I was wrong. It's Jennifer Lopez.
J-Lo. Okay, cool.
I almost said that. I don't know why I got those two confused in my head. I was like, certainly not Jenny from the Block, but then it's like, no, that was it.
It was her. She was from the block. Should have gone with
From
your
the Block
instincts.
and from Out of Sight. They don't call her Jenny from Out of Sight, but they could.
They could. They might. They will. I'm thinking Out of Sight, maybe in between Hercules and Big Short. Does that feel appropriate?
Oh, yeah. I would say The Big Short is our other dividing line for like movies that are just roughly good.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's like the gatekeeper for like, you're okay, we'll let you in.
Yeah,
like
Hot Fuzz is like, for, to beat Hot Fuzz, you have to be like a great movie, just broadly speaking. And to beat Big Short, you have to be what I would call like a good movie that is not obviously dragged down by some flaw.
It'll be really interesting to see if anything gets below Kingsman 2. That's how much I dislike that movie.
There's an entry on there that implies that I also saw Kingsman 2, but I have zero memory of it. I didn't even like the first one. I thought it was tacky.
Yeah, totally. And that, oh my gosh, then his most recent movie too, the one that he did with it's Henry Cavill and I can't remember her name at the moment, but
oh no, I know this one. Bryce Dallas Howard.
It was also awful, and then the twist at the end of that movie is that it's like also low-key a Kingsman movie, and I was like, get me the hell out of here. Why did I do this to myself again? Like,
fool me 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So Out of Sight, I'm firmly in agreement that it goes probably above Big Short, because Big Short's just whatever. It's a serviceable movie. I don't got anything too bad to say about it, but it doesn't land in any particular spot for me.
Yeah, Out of Sight's like solid. It's kind of like
good.
vibe.
Just good. Fine.
Yeah.
Hercules and Porco Rosso and Out of Sight are of a similar quality to me. I feel like they're all good films in specific genres that do not reinvent the wheel, but are just like really solid versions of what they're aiming for. So, maybe below Hercules though?
No, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like in between.
That's what you said. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because Hercules is an interesting one to talk about because it's really good, but it's like amongst its peers of like fantastic movies. It's really hard to compare yourself to like a Lion King or Little Mermaid or Aladdin. They're just amazing films, and Hercules is really good too, but it's just not as good as those ones.
Absolutely. And Porco Rosso is that, but for Studio Ghibli, where like in a bubble, fantastic, but in one complete exhaustive list of every movie ever made ranked from best to worst, it just obviously has to go below the other movies from that same series that are clearly doing that but better.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel pretty good about what we added to this list today.
We had much better luck. Our first episode was a disaster. It was movies that Frank
I liked it too. Yeah, it was fun. We got off to a rocky start, but that was engaging for me.
A very entertaining conversation, but today was more like just doing the work. We actually had to kind of like parse some difficult rankings, but there's a reason why we were elected to do this job.
Yeah, somebody had to do it.
Money.
Yeah. What?
We're not getting paid for this?
Somebody, once we're done, somebody surely will ask for this in exchange for money.
And we will ransom it for at least a few dollars.
Something. Some amount of cents and monies.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Frank, thanks for sitting down with me again. That's episode 2 of ranking every movie ever made. Our list is now the top 21 movies, but obviously we've got thousands more to go. So join us next time, and join us in 2 weeks when we are back with our regular Meet Your Double Feature programming, our in-depth blind movie review show. Stay tuned to either one. Follow us on social media at Meet Your Double Feature. Frank, anything specific to plug, or are we good? Hey, Editor Thomas here with a quick clarification. Frank is about to start plugging his feature film, Nate and Mariah in Venice, which he co-produced and was the cinematographer for. But at the time of this recording, the film was not yet available to stream, whereas now it is. You can rent or purchase the film now on Amazon Prime Video by following the link in the description for this episode. So if you are interested, please go check it out. We also did an interview recently with Austin Balke, the writer-director for the film, so feel free to check out that as well. Just wanted to add that clarification. Now back to whatever we were saying.
Nate and Mariah in Venice is, on this list. It'll definitely find its way onto this list at some point. So,
and it might go suspiciously high up the list.
Suspiciously high. I wonder why.
Number one? No, I mean,
So
it's not
stay
better
tuned
than
for
Men in
that,
Black.
too.
I'll tell you right now, how are you supposed to beat out Men in Black?
Men in Black is really good, but it's not the best movie ever made. So something will. I mean, we knocked Attack of the Clones down 2 spaces today, which I didn't think that was possible, but we did.
That's
it somehow.
true. I thought that was going to be there till the end of time.
You're right. Yeah. So, all right. Anything can happen. It's a dangerous list out there.
Dangerous list. But we're going to release it. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Because people need to see it. People want to see it.
People want to see,
need
and
the
there'll
list.
be consequences for whether or not. Some movies on our alphabetical list show up multiple times, actually.
Multiple times. There'd be a lot on there. It's
Like if you were trying to find one movie, you'd be like, wow, it really shows up a lot on this
You just
list.
gotta parse through all these other. It's the same thing over and over again on here.
All right, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time on Meet Your Double Feature.